consumers, but Zed, it is AD in the mid lane. It's Zed into LeBlanc.
It's been a while.
Let's go.
So this is definitely something where that speaks side lanes, okay? You have Tryndamere, you have Zed, you have an Evelynn in the jungle that can shadow you, of course, very hard to spot out on that vision, unless you have the jungle lit up by pink wards. So from the side of Order, what we like to see here is once again, them getting ahead, at least on these champions, to the point where you can split push or at least open up the map in a 1-3-1 setting more comfortably. Because if they start taking over from the side of G2, if they start the Drave clear, but it relies on him stepping a little far up, heading that Q, getting the E down, and then the W, of course. And he is very immobile. Doesn't have a spell shoot like, for example, Sivir would in that case with the wave clear coming through. But once again, it is a facilitating pick, which fits the stylistic of running in with champions like Tryndamere, like Zed, and like Evelynn.
For the moment, both teams just setting up lines of scrimmage here. No one really going to be able to make too many forays into the enemy side of the map. Caps, of course, could go Distortion first on the LeBlanc, jump over, see that Kevy's there, but not going to do anything as of yet. And the balance between these jungle mids, I think, is going to be a really interesting sight to behold in the early game here, Goldbook.
Yeah, so, Medic, I'm going to let you in on a little family business as well here at the same time. So, my little brother, funnily enough, was a Grandmaster Evelynn OTP at some point as well. So I got, of course, some little interest in how he shut down this pick, what he absolutely hates as well. And what he would always cry about from the room next door is that when he's getting counter jungle pre-6, when the enemy laners have prio, they come in and disrupt your pathing. You don't have a lot to get away with. Quite often you'll have to expand the flash. And if those enemy laners have CT, like Caps LeBlanc will have, if he gets prio, we might see Kevy having a little bit of a hard time as well.
So let's watch how the priority in those lanes goes. When we talk about prio, obviously, the idea is, can you push the lane faster than your opponent can?
Yes.
Can you clear the minion wave quicker than your opponents? If you can, you can gain prio, because you have control over how quickly the minion wave pushes in, how often you want to roam around from your lane without losing minions. So that's what we're looking for. We'll see if G2 are able to gain control here. Of course, Flack and Targamas on the lane first means that they get the push early on, and Puma and Corporal have to back away because they know, well, we can't clear the minions quickly enough to hit that level 2.
And honestly, this is the freest lane ever as well for the G2 bot lane. If I'm Renata here into Nautilus, I absolutely love it. If I'm Flacket as well, absolutely love it. Every time Nautilus procs that shield, well, the passive of Sari just lets us steal it away, get some extra movement speed. And the thing is as well, in the beginning, people were like, well, Renata, she's so squishy. All these engaged supports are just going to engage on her and they'll die. But look at this. Targamas can step up like this because you just go a pseudo tank build instead. You optimize in for the Guardian instead. You get those tanky stats and you get the shield when you finally throw out your E. If Nautilus engages, you're just going to get slowed. You're going to get a handshake through and you're just going to die. So it's incredibly difficult. And what was that? Evelynn counter jungling? Well, Jankos, he's on it immediately.
You can see push in the mid lane, push in the top lane here for G2. Jankos goes all the way around. Kevy trying to loop his way around as well, but Caps has flash, has distortion. Kevy only has one flash of his own. Jankos over the wall with the chase. Kevy will flash away. The chains were held by Caps. He connects underneath the tower. Kevy's trying to survive, but you just can't survive the dive. G2 first blood.
And that is the most difficult part of an Evelynn. It's stat first clear. If you can go disrupted through that, you can get the XP going on the cabs. You can get level 6 on second and third clear. It's great, but quite often, and more than not, this will happen. And that's why I said, when you see an Evelynn, it is so important that you have a prio lane. Unfortunately, it's not been the case so far. And even now, Kise is still struggling against Caps here.
Kise does have 3 of those health potions, has popped one of them already. 2 left. The corrupting potion on the side of Caps means that he'll be able to sustain up that mana as well. Of course, on Zed, you don't need mana, so you can go longsword pots to try and give yourself a little bit more sustain in the lane. But early doors here, G2 out to a strong lead. Both buffs stolen away from Kevy, one by killing him, and one by just killing the Cap.
And crucially, by Zed and LeBlanc, it is also first when you hit level 6 on the set that you finally start finding some kill pressure. Most of the first levels, especially on level 3, is more about poking them at the same time when you CS, because it's very difficult for you to step up on towards the wave, kind of like we're seeing it here. Okay, Kise getting a little aggressive, still has the ignite, can flash forward if he wants to.
That's really well played there by Kise to be able to get that extra damage down, hitting more of the shurikens onto Caps. Caps, through his corrupting potions, now has 1 total biscuit of rejuvenation. Kise out of potions himself. In the early game, it's been a little bit difficult for Order, mostly because Kevy was pushed behind, scared a little bit in his own jungle. And don't forget, you guys can grab your exclusive Scared Prize Prime Gaming emote, so you can strut when you flash in and turn a fight, as BioPanther looks to do that in the top lane. Broken Blade getting chased down. Ghost has been popped. No crit there on the Order means that BioPanther won't be able to get enough damage down. Get that Scare Prize. Maybe when you are scared.
Broken Blade certainly not scared in that scenario just yet. No level 6 coming through from BioPanther either. And it kind of just goes back to what we talked about the matchup. If you step too far forward on Gnar, Ghost will be puffed, you will get run down. So it's really important that you have the positioning in a respectable manner against the Tryndamere. But obviously BioPanther is still not level 6, cannot continue under the turret, but maybe a little foresight for what's to come.
Yeah, and the question really is like BioPanther popped Ghost, Broken Blade had to use TP to get back into the lane. That Ghost is on a much shorter cooldown. So if BioPanther can do that again and force Broken Blade away when there's a wave pushing in, that makes it much more difficult for Broken Blade to keep up on experience, keep up on levels, and keep up on gold against BioPanther. And if BioPanther can get enough of a lead in that side lane, perhaps he can start being that win condition for Order.
So what we see here is that Kevy, he was holding around Kissa, trying to be out of vision, but still in minion range, so he could get the XP, wait for the minions to come through, and gets a little bit of that in. Because he knows he's already behind, right? Yep. And so Kizzy, he has to be in a situation where he has to share his own XP. He does get level 6 before caps, so it's not the end of the world for the mid laner, but it just speaks to how far behind the Evelynn was put a little bit in the early game, how important it is that she hits this level 6. Jankos now on the top side, finds a pink ward, doesn't have intel on Kevy on the Crocs, but will get in a bit.
BioPanther forced away. Interestingly, Kisei actually has the faster reaction to this. Caps had to catch the mid lane and Kisei just recalled, so he can be here first. Caps is clearing out that wave. Kevy's still only level 5, so is Jankos. Broken Blade with a wave underneath the tower means that BioPanther has to answer himself. And in the end, it will just be a couple of those small minions stolen away by Jankos. But yeah, once again, Kevy trying to get the experience, exactly what you mentioned here, Goldbull.
Yeah, and you can see it, it's coming through. This time around, the recall not going to be able to reach a lot of the range, but he's just there to set up.
There's no camps for him either, man. That is pain as a jungler.
Wukong's here.
Kisei goes in with a Death Mark. Cap's going to jump away. Death Mark proccing, Ignite ticking as well. Jankos looking for the damage, but no flash burn on Kisei means that he's going to be able to escape. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, a 2v2 kill, and exactly as you say, how on earth did that happen? Puma still has flash, Corporal still has flash, and Targamas doesn't have a life anymore.
Order strikes back, and I was just saying, this matchup, it's so free to play for the Renata. I love playing this myself as well, but coming through into a Nautilus, I can't believe it. They must have been caught on an overextension. Yank is getting aggressive.
Gets the steal away on the blue buff, goes back in. Cyclone by himself for the moment. Looking for that double knock-up smite from Kevy. The damage from Jankos flashing. And that's the kill over the G2. Corporal now forced away. The chain's going in. He does still have that flash. Remember, flash in by Jankos, flash away by Corporal. Ignite ticking, but Corporal should survive that. Caps could look for the jump across the wall here.
I get baited. Puma is around. W has been
doesn't have vision, remember. The shield, that's enough. Caps with the kill.
Oh my god, I can't believe they're allowed to do that there. For sure thought Order was setting up a trap there, expecting the Caps would jump over, but they just weren't ready with the anchor either. And just like that, he picks up a 3 kill in the mid lane. Oh, in the bot lane, rather.
And it's strange. I'd love to
see that replay.
Point, see the bot lane replay as well. Yeah, because Order must have played this very well. Targamas behind the minions. Corporal stepping forward. Must just get hooked.
It's just
the Guardian's propped. He doesn't have the extra tankiness.
Exactly. He just gets blown up immediately. Ignite. The CC change comes through. They try to get out of it with a flash afterwards. It's just not enough. And that's even with a level advantage on Flacket as well. So just a little over aggression. And then no support is here. So there should be a members advantage from Order. But Jankos hits level 6 because of the smite on the blue buff. Flacket is around the wall, dashes over it on Seri, and then just flashes into GQ it. And just like that, G2, they continue relentlessly with their skirmishing and the counter jungling.
That's the thing, it's not just the kills, it's the jungle getting taken away from you. Kevy now has hit level 6, but Jankos already level 7. Corporal trying to react towards this top side, but G2 are on their way. Broken Blade and Jankos force Corporal underneath the tower. Caps and Targamas here to join the fray. Cap steps in, and Corporal is nowhere safe on this Nautilus, sent to the depths below. Caps once again looking for the chase here. BioPanther does have flash and will use it to escape the chains.
And it just speaks to the pressure. He had ult as well, but just getting rooted off this thought of it. Just wanted him to flash out of it immediately. Kissing now on Jankos instead.
Targamas here, still only level 5. Caps flashes the wall. Kisei has to flash himself. Knew that the W was on cooldown. Didn't have a shadow form for Kisei to escape with. Broken Blade looking for the Gnar towards the top side. Forces BioPanther away across the wall. But once again, it's not always about the kills. Sometimes it's just about stealing away the cams. But G2 are looking for the kills too. Jankos hooked up. The Cyclone coming in.
Can he get the
Jankos brought back. Kisei ticking, not enough. Not in time. Kill goes over to Corporal in the end, and it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, just 1 second short of getting that reset to come through on the bailout, and Jankos would have lived. This time around, though, not the possibility, and they traded 1-for-1 at least, so Jankos does go down. Not a shutdown, though. So 1-1-4 still coming through, and, you know, this damage coming through. Divine Sunder already completed. You take a look at Kevy right now. He's sitting on 2 amplifying tomes. The difference in the 2 junglers right now, I mean, it's the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. And the issue, of course, for Order is that Corporal has picked up both these kills as well through no fault of his own. Like, you can't expect in this sort of a messy play for Corporal to be able to hold off those Order attacks. You just want the kills. But when your support is picking up these kills and your jungler is being set behind, it makes it so much harder for you to get back in the game. Yeah,
a little greedy of Corporal trying to stick around, though, for the pink ward instead. And while he survives under the turret, well, it's just going to be the second time in a row where captures come through. Dashes in, dashes out, get a 3 kill, and then they just continue with the aggression, right? They're so far ahead. Yes, KSA is pushing in the mid lane. Yes, they're losing a few plates, but in the bot side of the map, you also have Flackett, who's getting some of his wallet as well. And this is where it becomes a little messy, though.
KSA comes in on the Z. It wasn't there. Was clearing out the mid lane originally. The flash for Flash, and then the fight continues. Broken Blade towards the top side here, just totally whips on the gnar, I think, on BioPanther.
Unfortunate circumstances. Either way, he's able to continue the pry on the top side, but we know what happens in this fight. Bailout doesn't come through, traded 1-for-1, and yeah, there you have it.
Yep. Kevy here spotted out on a ward as he roams up towards his jungle. G2, 4,000 gold ahead. In Order, with these side lanes that they needed to get in a good position, are struggling a little bit. BioPanther just gets over 70 CS, whereas Broken Blade is about 20 ahead. Mid lane, Caps has 2 kills to none on the side of Kisei, and even in the bot lane, there's a 30 CS lead for Flackhead, even though they ended up dying in that 2v2. Corporal with a Hex Flash inside the bush, but Flackett in a very strong position currently on this area.
Yeah, you just don't win the matchup here. When Tarkman's at his level 6, you have the hostile takeover, you have Flackett as well, level 8, while Puma, before that happened, was level 7 as well, so you just want to stabilize once again, and it's not going to be about the bot lane, it's going to be about trying to find leads on the solo lane. That's what Order tried to do, that's why they moved Corporal up, although G2 were just ready for the rotations all the time.
Yankel's looking for a bit of trade damage there. He saw that Kissa used his W, that shadow forwards, and knew that he would be able to get a little bit of damage in, but of course doesn't really want to take a full-on trade versus Kissa, even though he only has the serrated Dirk right now.
And Jankos does have that Rift Held in hand. There's 3 plates on the top side, and what do you know? He is making his way up there as well. Drake is up. Have not been taken yet, so if Order needs to have some sort of cross map to come through, it could be an objective you could look for at this moment, but I think this top lane is going to be gone.
Caps diving back forward. Kisei doesn't use the chains. Did use the Everforce. And it goes back. There's the chains. Caps with the fancy feet dives back in. Kisei thought he was safe, but there's no escaping Caps on the form he's in at the moment. 3-0 now on that LeBlanc. Meanwhile, in the top lane, BioPanther forced away. You can see Corporal trying to react to this. The Dragon's gone down towards the bottom side, but that means that Kevy is known to be on the bottom side of the map. And as you say, Jankos and Broken Blade, Divine Sundra in hand, will clear out 2 towers in the top lane.
It's just a massive gold lead. 12 minutes into the game. Plating is not even done. You already have the only top lane inhibitor left standing in that lane. You can start playing around the mid lanes now. Broken Blade, he's going to have so much time on the map before he needs to respond to the wave being pushed in on the top side, because the lane is so long now. It's going to take a while before it starts hitting the tower. So I'm expecting G2 to stay group, try to get more on the map, while the members of Order is going to see how much they can get, and that will probably mean that they'll be out-rotated a little bit, because G2 currently on the map just have more leeway.
And just more in terms of their wallets as well. Their back pockets bulging at the moment, while Order are scrounging around for scraps, it seems. They do have a Gale Force finished on Puma. No Umbral Glaive first on the Jhin, something we have been seeing. But the thing with Umbral Glaive is it's great to clear out vision, but to clear out vision, you have to be able to get to vision. And right now, Order just don't have enough control of the map to ever be able to approach and clear out these objectives.
And now you can see they're just setting up on that bot side. Once again, the rotation's coming through. Broken Blade is in the mid lane. The other members down towards the bot side, and it just creates a man advantage.
That's disgusting. Invisible. Jankos gets in. Corporal force low once again. Flash forward from Jankos for the kill. But you just can't see it. Hear no evil, see no evil, do no evil, it seems, for Jankos on this Monkey King. Puma pops the cleanse, pops the ultimate, but Caps able to sidestep the first 2. Third one goes wide as well, and Caps walks away. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Broken Blade being dived, building up that Mega Gnar, not quite there yet. Flashes into the charm, and Order execute a clean dive in the top lane.
Yeah, so at least there is a response from the side of Order, but even then, the resources you had to expand to get through that was quite a lot, with the mid lane as well just being pushed in. You don't really get the other way. But what I really liked from the G2 rotations was the fact that, once again, Broken Blade, I'm just going to hold it.
Yeah, I think Jankos dies here. A lot of damage coming out from Kisei. Already has the Eclipse. Jankos might be brought back with the bailout, but Kisei, of course, can just jump all the way back to his original shadow. Great stuff there by Kisei. Caught Jankos moving up towards the Rift Tower.
Especially when you consider how far behind they are in gold currently. And it just is a great response back into it. Members have reset now, though. Ooh, Anchor luckily collects on the tower.
Yep. Power of the dredge line means that Corporal is able to get away from that handshake. And for the moment, Order in a very strong... Order in a very difficult position to get back into this game. G2 still 6,000 gold ahead. They've taken down the tier 1 in the bottom lane, tier 1 and the 2 in the top lane, and now they'll be looking towards mid.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're going to have second Rift Tower spawning up in just a few minutes as well again. When that happens, you're just going to be taking care of that mid lane turret in one charge. So G2, they don't have to invest too many resources trying to take the mid lane turret down naturally, because they know they can just skirmish around it. So what you can just do is just like open the map up, play towards the side lane. Once you have priority in one of these side lanes, start counter jungling again. Start creating the skirmishes where you have the first move. It's what we've seen them succeed with so far, and will continue to succeed.
And so then what do Order do to react? Because right now you can see Kevy and Corporal are kind of shadowing each other down towards that bottom side. Kisei's trying to push forward, but he's been narred into the wall. We don't really have a moment to talk about what Order could do in a side lane, because Broken Blade just gets a 1v1 kill against Kisei there, as I thought Kevy was looking to set something up. G2 trying to react now, as Kevy and Corporal might be a little bit overextended.
That's even the problem, right? Because yes, you can try and look for a pick down towards the bottom lane, as we see here, but even then the problem is that G2, with the man advantage in the mid lane, will have to respond quite quickly. So yes, you trade it maybe one kill, but then as soon as that kill has come through, the rest of G2 will be on top of you, and probably 2 members will die. So even the moves you make here, where you try to get aggressive, is not going to work for you. So once again, what you need is some stabilization, maybe level 11 on Kevy as well. When you start being able to trade, wait for G2 to make a mistake, start setting up. Vision control against an Evelynn is quite difficult, because you need pink wards instead of normal wards, and that gives you some extra breathing room from the side of Order.
It's one of the difficulties when you have a composition that thrives in a side lane and you fall behind in the early game, so you can't win your 1v1s, is, well, we're not winning the 1v1s in the side lane, so we kind of just have to catch the waves as they're pushed towards us. We can't really take a team fight because we don't have a team fight in composition and we're behind. The only good sign for Order is that they got that first dragon. G2 haven't been stacking up Drakes, so we're on for a very late soul if G2 go for it, but with the engaged potential from a Wukong and from a Gnar, G2 can just force plays like this.
And there we have it. They got the priority down towards the bot side. They move Broken Blade up towards the mid lane. They take care of it. Order now trying to look for some cross map. Herald in less than 1 minute. If they can get this kill, maybe they can trade for more objectives afterwards.
Caps has a stopwatch, jumps forward, Everfrost for the root, clears out the wave as well, and Kevy just tanks the tower as the TP comes in. It is a TP burnt, but nothing on the side of Order, just a little bit of their time. So they will come out with a summoner spell advantage there. Yeah,
and that was what they could get, but now they're going to be late on a setup for the potential Herald. Broken Blade will be on the top side. G2 knows most of the members of Order are on the top side as well, so they can just have Jankos solo up the Drake. So now, crossmap won't really come through to what we had hoped for. Corporal, no flash, so it's going to be difficult connecting on the hook.
Could go for a short hook into the depth charge. Decides against it. Dragon taken by Jankos. That's their first of the game, and it will be a Mountain Soul for us. With a 7,000 gold lead, G2 still looking very much in control of this game. 2 items now complete as well on Flakked. That Phantom Dancer coming in second.
So at least there is decent vision control from the side of Order on the top side, but with the resets now coming through from G2, they will just be able to move their members up there. They will just be able to clear it, because it'll be very difficult for Order to fight it. What you could have done in this scenario is that, oh, we know we have some top side priority. We can try and cheese them. We know we have the vision control, but Order is down towards the bot side, so that's not going to happen.
Order might look for something here. The wave coming in. Lightning, it's time to hook onto the tower. They're looking to get him down before the Mega Gnar comes in. A good play by Order. As Corporal tanks the tower, Kevy takes the kill.
And this is great, because G2 is in a position where they're not really set up. They're on a reset timer instead. So Order, they find the window, but what it's going to cost them then is then, oh, all the members on the bot side, time to set up for that Rift Tower, time to set up for top side instead. But Order, they're getting what they can in this game, right?
That's
they're getting kills, right? They're getting turrets. You can't really ask for much more in a situation like this.
When you're behind like this, every time you can get anything, even if you're trading slightly down, is still beneficial for you. Like if you trade 200 gold down on this play, it's fine. You still got a bunch of gold in your back pockets, and you can start to get towards those items. We see mythics across the board for them now, apart from Corporal, who is still building towards that locket. G2 starting up the Rift Herald. Order maybe looking for a reaction here, but with Kisei down towards the bottom side, of course, running the Ignite instead of the TP, and Cap up here Order decide against fighting the second Rift home?
I was going to say it'd be very bold if they all of a sudden decided to fight that, but what they can do is that, once again, they know majority of the members on the top side. You can try and move some members down towards the bot side, see if you want to skirmish together. Once again with the Evelynn, if there's no pink vault spotting him, you may be looking for a pick, and it looks like that pick is going to be Broken Blade.
Deathmark, Broken Blade trying to get away here, wants to build up that Mega Gnar, now has a minion wave to do it. The rest of G2 on the reaction, in Order calling the retreats. Corporal missed out on the chains, but a brick connects, and Corporal, it's a demotion in Order. Go back to Private as G2 take the kill. Kisei forced away here by Flackhead, and Kisei, you just can't do anything about it. Kevy on his lonesome, perhaps looking for Broken Blade when he goes into the mini Gnar. Yeah, invisible, of course, is Kevy on this Evelynn. Broken Blade, there's the charm. Doesn't have a flash, does have a jump to charm. Still connected, still there, but now falls off, and Kevy looking for the chase, misses the hate spike. And Caps is on the way. Kevy tried to do what he can, dances away, but Caps can chase him down, and there's no escape for the Order jungler.
And there you have it. That's in the scenario where G2 were off reset timers. You know, they're a group that's a unit. They can collapse immediately as soon as they see the members from Order move down towards the bot side. Nothing stopping G2 to do the same. Now with this Rift Herald, they won't use it to open up the first one. They'll use it to open up the second, continue on towards the inhibitor turret, and they'll be getting a lot on this push.
And G2 looking to continue their undefeated streak. It would be 16 games in a row for them if they win this. 12 through the LEC playoffs, and now, of course, 4 here at MSI. Inhibitor down in the mid lane, just over the 20-minute mark. G2 can use that pressure to set up vision towards this top side of the map, and then look towards that Baron.
And that's the thing. We quite often talk about these teams in terms of, oh, are you a Drake stacking team that needs to get this going? Are you a Rift Herald team that'll need to get this going? In playoffs, G2 completely shifted their style and were all about the Drake priority. They had the highest soul percentage coming into this series as well, or game rather, but it just speaks to versatility we also see in this team, that they can swap it up. They could be the one that's relying on Rift Herald. They could be the one getting leads around the turrets instead. You don't need Soul to win this game.
Yep.
You're already in a prime position to just skirmishing around the area around the Baron buff, get the vision control, once again play off the priority, and just set up a fight around the Baron where Order is going to be at a deficit.
And that's what you start seeing Jankos doing here, clearing out some vision. Corporal did get a singular ward just by where the Baron is, and that control ward will not spot that, so that ward is good for Order. It does give them awareness of if G2 starts something up, and perhaps they're looking to start something up themselves. Stopwatch coming out from Caps as the curtains open. Biopanther with a good flank position here. Caps forced away. Corporal though low. Flackhead with the ultimate trying to get the damage down himself. Biopanther on the chase. Flack is going to dive across the wall. Biopanther diving in with the Undying Rage, but can he get the damage down? Nard into the wall, stunned up. CC'd for days. Broken Blade kills off the Panther, and G2 now force Order to retreat.
Yeah, and even in those scenarios that looks great from the side of Order, they're not able to pick it up. Caps, you're on a ward. You're low HP.
This is millions of HP when you have a bailout playing around the Renata perfectly. Caps misses the chains on the reset and will be killed by Puma. A huge shutdown for him, but G2 instead are looking for the shutdown here on the Baron. 7,000 gold ahead, make it 8 as they secure the big purple worm, and we'll see what they can do with this Red Bull Baron power play.
And even like that, they are playing on the limits of what can be achieved on these champions there as well, playing with the bailout, playing for the reset. G2 so dominant. Heavy in a flank position here, and there are members who can collapse if they suddenly get a pick, but even then, no man advantage. Biopanther in base. Kisei still coming back from the death. So there you have it. Drake will just go over to G2. They can come through with resets, and I can start looking around the next of the map where they can play on 2 lanes. They have a Baron buff.
An issue, of course, for Order is the speed of which Puma can clear out those super minions pushing in the mid lane. Jin does have good wave clear, you know, Dancing Grenade, Ultimate.
Oh yeah.
The Captive Audience as well can do some work, but it's not always the fastest when you're waiting to reload. So the super minion wave pushing in once again. G2 now on the bottom side of the map. Caps isolated from his team. Kevy and Corporal are looking to perhaps catch him as he catches this wave that's pushing in, but the rest of G2 are looking for an inhibitor tower instead. Kevy reacting, Biopanther, Corporal and Puma. Last chance defense, you have to think. Root comes out, good hook as well. Target's low, flashes away. The engage coming in from Jankos over with the Cyclone. Kevy's going to dive away with an ultimate of his own, but Corporal just melted on the front line, and Order really can't do anything. The wallets are too big. They're getting slapped around with dollar bills here by G2. Biopanther dies to the double. Puma isolated underneath his Nexus towers as well. Kevy will fall. It's not quite an ace as Kisei has been able to escape, but Caps doesn't really want him to get away. A triple for Blackhead. Stopwatch from Caps. Kisei, try as he might, he can't stop the unrelenting march that is G2 towards the Nexus towers. They may delay to see if Caps can win the 1v1. They don't. G2 still undefeated at MSI.
Yeah, they continue with their streak, and they are still looking like a team just growing stronger and stronger in terms of their play. From the side of Order, though,